Today what I'm going to talk about is Manna Drone Delivery. They're a really interesting company based out of Oranmore in Galway, a new startup company by the same founder as the car trawler website in that's famous in Ireland. And basically they're doing fantastic at the moment. They're getting loads of seed money and they're expanding into the UK and America by 2023, and their competitors are Alphabet and Amazon. So really exciting company. And I think this is a wonderful quote. Whether you need a pint of milk, some Calpol for the kids, or your takeaway food, this is a far safer, quieter, cleaner way to move things around. Bob Healy. So what we're going to talk about today is a bit of background of Manna, do a SWOT analysis, Porter's 5 forces, pestle analysis, just to give you an overview of the market and the company itself. The systems design, and I will show you the process flow diagram, data capture points, data dictionary, an entity relationship diagram, and then finally into implementation report, where I will kind of talk through Macaroon, the Excel sheets I created, the Tableau dashboards, and then the implementation process using HubSpot itself. So, Manna, the wonderful Manna company. It's Irish owned by Bobby Healy. As I said, he was the founder of Car Trawler and he's a serial entrepreneur. It's based out of Oranmore at the moment. Oranmore has a population of 10,000 people, and at the moment 30% of the town have used the service already. The service itself, it caters for any objects up to £6 and delivers within a 2 kilometre radius in less than 3 minutes, and it can go up to 80 kilometers per hour. So the target market is suburbia because you can deliver in people's lawns, and their hope then is to expand. No, they are going to expand. The plans to expand into the UK, EU, and North America in 2023. So currently in Oranmore, they've got huge investments, 3 successful rounds of investments, and they're expanding into 2 other Irish towns shortly. This is a perfect time for Manna because of delivery service as a whole is growing. People are working from home because of COVID, and the fact that it is electric drone, it doesn't take up any space on the roads, which are already heavily congested, and doesn't release any CO2 emissions. The new ICE report on climate change is stark, and this is exactly where Manna will come in and take over the world. So our quick SWOT analysis, the strengths: first mover advantage, COVID-19, working from home, eco-friendly, fast, it's cheap. Weaknesses: risk of acquisition. So 2 major competitors are Alphabet, Google's company, parent company, and Amazon. Immature regulations. So the regulations are constantly changing for drones. Weather sensitive. If it's terrible weather, really windy, the drones may have issue. Weight of goods, £6, it's limited. Opportunities: growth into new countries, increased drone fleet, larger drones, bigger load. Global regulation is a possibility where they would be all the same regulation. And then threats, once again, regulation, electric vehicles on the road, and massive competition from Alphabet and Amazon. Porter's 5 forces. So basically this is just highlighting how profitable the market will be. Okay, so at the moment the threat of new entrants it's in the industry itself is in its infancy, and Manna is at the forefront of it. So it is competing against Amazon and Alphabet at the moment, but in terms of delivery as a service, Manna is at the forefront of it and needs to be continuously. Bargaining power of buyers. So the suppliers, the buyers are important. They have it's whoever, so they've teamed up with Just Eat and Ben and Jerry's and pharmacies. Threat of substitute products, yes, from electric vehicles and from other types of vehicles. So at the moment, people haven't realized the full potential of Manna. You can get a coffee delivered in 3 minutes, but until a consumer has realized the advantages of drone delivery for products such as coffee, other electric vehicles and delivery services are good substitutes. Bargaining power of suppliers, once again, the drone manufacturer is extremely important here. So any new software, whoever makes the drones, is an important part, and whatever contract you have with that drone developer. Pestle analysis, really quickly. Political and economic. You can see as a whole, people are living at home, working from home a lot more. Delivery is increasing. People's desire for speedy deliveries is increasing. The technology is improving, and the regulation is moving in favor of drone delivery. So this is the specification report, and this is my process flow diagram. So this is what we'll be following for the rest of the presentation. So here we have, we're starting with a customer lead. So we have to generate these customers. So with Manna, they're moving into new markets the whole time, but the radius that they cover is quite short. So we say 3 kilometers or 10 kilometers, maximum 50 kilometers radius. So they'll have to have a lot of drone depots. So customer lead and lead generations are really important. If they're moving into new areas, they need to know that they have customers in those areas. So we have customer lead. Are we going to convert them to a customer? Either yes, fantastic. If no, we follow up and figure out why not. Then the client, so just say a consumer would order from Just Eat, and then we would get that order from the customer who is Just Eat. Then we'd quote Just Eat and then deliver to their client and then invoice Just Eat at the end. So we have many different data capture points: the lead generation, the quote, order from customer, invoice, and then the questionnaire as to why the quote didn't go ahead. These are other data. The data dictionary, we have lead generation, order from customer, product itself, the quote, and the invoice in the end. This is the entity relationship diagram for Manna drone delivery. So we have the lead generation, and then we have order from the customer and the product here, and then the quote and the product goes into that as well. And then the invoice, and then finally the questionnaire. So the implementation report then. We have quickly just what's going to come up. Macaroo and Excel, I had to come up with fake data. And then the Tableau dashboard, we have the operational, tactical, and strategic dashboard. And then finally the HubSpot implementation itself. So Macaroo, in total, I think that this has taken me a lot of time because I was trying to figure out what needs to go into every data set. And because Manna is such a new company, there wasn't any data available. So in total, I made 6 different data sets. But this is just one example. So we have the ID, which was the connector throughout all the data sets. And then the name of the customer, the quote, and then how much they spent each quarter, just to kind of try and get financials in. And to highlight that, Manna, they get a lot of their custom from the summertime, and they get a lot of their custom from fast food, whereas if you get and that causes an issue, because if you just focus heavily on the summer months and fast food, a lot of your orders are coming through at the same time. So with fast food, you get your orders kind of at lunchtime between 12 and 2, and then dinner time between 5 and 7. And because you only have a small fleet of drones, you really want to spread out those delivery times. So I have kind of come up with a scenario where Manna needs to focus more on up their game in spring, autumn, and winter, and also to increase their customers around in cafes and pharmacies. Cafes, because coffee on the go throughout the day will improve orders throughout the day instead of just at the crunch points. So the Tableau dashboards, we have operational, strategic, and tactical. The operation is day to day, would be like your drone delivery driver. Your tactical then would be more middle management, and strategic then would be kind of your leadership team. So here we have the operational dashboard, so you can kind of see how much this would be a middle manager, how much the average time it takes for per delivery, and then you kind of have a breakdown then of fast food, cafes, etc. Then you have the kind of the drone depots and how many customers you have in each depot, and then the lead generation. These are all the potential new customers when you to give you kind of comfort when moving into new areas. Then you have a breakdown of the customer who has most the breakdown of the customer. So we have Just Eat, Tesco, pharmacies, and independent cafes. And then when you click into Tesco, it says what are the major products that get delivered by Tesco. Strategic then would be your long-term leadership teams would be looking at this, and you'd use this as a reference point when talking about your strategic goals. So we can see here that there's a heavy reliance breakdown by season, and you can see that the summer months you get the most amount of revenue, but then as the years go on, there's less and less of a gap between the summer months and the rest of the seasons. And then the time delivery, so it's decreasing with as the years go on. And then breakdown by customer category, so we can see there's a huge emphasis on fast food, and we want to have a more of holistic approach, especially when it comes we want to increase cafes. So then the key takeaways so in the key takeaways here, while the organization has made a lot of improvements, there is still over reliance on the summer season. Most of the orders are processed in the summer. The vast majority of sales fast food leads to congestion between 12 and 2 p.m. and 4 and 7 p.m. and we need to push for cafes. Majority of consumers in Oranmore, plenty of growth potential in new towns. So we can see that there are way more consumers in Oranmore just because they've been there longer. So it shows that there are plenty of growth potential in the new towns. So the lead generation is essential, which brings us on to HubSpot and the implementation process. So HubSpot was chosen because it's user experience, the user interface, and the vast services that they have. And it's just a really easy, navigatable piece of software. So I'll bring you through all the steps I did with HubSpot. So I populated HubSpot with different products and different businesses. Then generated leads. So I generated a lot of customers and the industries that they're in, and kind of their details and their their job titles, and then linked them up to organizations, and then put them into like as opportunities, and then changed them all from opportunities to from leads to opportunities, and then continued to do that, and then this is just converting an opportunity to an order. So basically following up with the customer, and then I bring you through the whole process of doing an order to an invoice. So we have the order here, and we have pizza and coffee, and then it's very small, but then we have created a quote and filled in all the details, sent it off to the customer, got a quote and an invoice, and then sent them an email with that invoice. This would be like a major customer like Just Eat. And then this is the dashboard then, so you can have a breakdown of the customer contacts reports, the leads, the follow through from lead to deal, and then expected deals to close this month, etc., etc. Really informative and really visually appealing, and has all the information of the customers there. So have the objectives been met? Yes, I believe they do. Over 25% of new customers were cafes. This will hopefully increase sales of coffees on the go and increase drone usage on non-peak times. There has also been a steady increase in sales throughout the seasons, not only in the summer season. And finally, lead generation has enabled Manna to move into new locations confidently and profitably. So HubSpot, the whole business information and business analytics suite, has been a huge success for this new, exciting and growing company. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the whole semester.